All right, mates, I'm glad you're here. We've got some cracking good findings to share. So, grab yourself a bevy and let's go. The world's oldest piece of chewing gum is 9,000 years old. Can you believe that? Well, you can. It was discovered in Finland in the 1990s next to some bones, and the gum was made from birch bark pitch, a tar-like resin. DNA was extracted from the gum and revealed information about the people who chewed it and the estimated time period, naturally. Do you like eating rhubarb? It can be heard growing, you know. Really? That's because it can grow so quickly that it makes popping, creaking, and squeaking sounds. Rhubarb plants can grow to be up to 4 feet wide and tall, so you should select a location that gives them enough room. This might not be too surprising once we get to the heart of the matter, but the left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung. Yes, the left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung to make room for, you guessed it, the heart. Look at you, you smarty. The Sahara Desert in northern Africa once had lush vegetation. Yes, the Sahara Desert was once covered in lush vegetation, a period known as the Green Sahara, which occurred between 11,000 and 5,000 years ago. This period is also called the African Humid Period. Fine dining originated in Paris, France during the 17th and 18th centuries. Chef Antoine Beauvillier opened the La Grande Taverne de Londres restaurant in 1782 and is considered the first fine dining establishment in Europe. He is credited with establishing key elements of fine dining, including a refined atmosphere, knowledgeable staff, and a curated wine selection. Thus, the concept of high cuisine was born in France. You probably learned about Jack the Ripper in your history lessons in grade school, and had a few nightmares about him too, perhaps. But did you know that in 2014, with the help of DNA analysis from one of his victims' shawls, Jack has been identified? His name is Aaron Kosminski. The serial killer was active in and around the impoverished Whitechapel district of London, England, in the autumn of 1888, killing 5 women. That means for nearly 125 years, Jack the Ripper remained a world-famous unsolved and unidentified mystery.
Do you like statistics? The Pareto Principle, or the 80-20 rule, suggests that 20% of inputs or activities are responsible for 80% of outcomes or results. This principle is widely observed in various fields such as business, economics, and health. For example, students can identify the widest 20% of material that will likely be on a test and focus their studying on that. Or you can say that 80% of news stories are based around 20% of world events. It's been shown that an apple in the morning can be more effective at waking you up than a cup of coffee. The natural sugars and high fiber content, around 20% of our recommended daily value, provide a steady source of energy. Socotra Island in Yemen is quite unique. It's home to the dragon's blood tree, which looks like an umbrella and produces red sap. This island boasts flora and fauna that are found nowhere else, earning it the nickname the most alien-looking place on Earth. The popular musical, The Phantom of the Opera, holds the record as the longest-running show on Broadway, having been performed over 13,000 times since its debut in 1988. I've personally seen it live with its original cast, and I'll never forget it. Cats have a unique way of communicating with humans. In fact, they rarely meow at other cats. Have you ever noticed that? They reserve this form of vocalization primarily for interacting with people, using it to convey various needs and emotions. Fascinating. The electric eel is capable of generating an electric shock of up to 800 volts, which it uses for hunting and self-defense. This is more than enough to stun or kill small prey and deter predators. Shocking, but true.
In the Beatles' song Strawberry Fields Forever, if you play the ending backward, some people believe they can hear John Lennon saying, "I buried Paul," which fueled rumours that Paul McCartney had died and been replaced by an imposter. The moral? Don't always believe what you hear, especially if the truth seems a little backward. The first professional athlete to earn $1 million salary was baseball player Nolan Ryan, who signed a $1 million per year contract with the Houston Astros in 1979. Believe it or not, Velcro was inspired by nature. Swiss engineer Georges de Mestral came up with the idea after noticing how burrs stuck to his dog's fur during a walk in the woods. Yes, even our pets can inspire great innovations. Well-known author J.K. Rowling made a decision to use the pseudonym Robert Galbraith to publish her crime fiction series, Cormoran Strike. Why? It's simple, really. She wanted to release the books without the immense pressure and expectations tied to her famous Harry Potter series. All right, you lassies, listen up. Imelda Marcos, the former First Lady of the Philippines, became infamous for her extensive shoe collection. When the Marcos family fled the Philippines in 1986, over 1,000 pairs of her shoes were left behind, symbolizing the excesses of her husband's regime. 1,000. Can you imagine? The ever-popular Slinky toy was invented by naval engineer Richard James in 1943 when he accidentally knocked a tension spring off a shelf and watched it gradually walk itself downward rather than falling hard and fast to the floor. Those were brilliant. Don't you agree? We love the work it takes to get these sorted for you. Do us a favour and like this video and share it with a friend. Cheers.